Colleagues and friends, I will welcome you back to the last hour of our Center for Life conference on teaching faith and entrepreneurship. The guests have been wonderful so far, and we will continue with several other fantastic speakers. The first of which is our friend Lowell Busenitz. He is the Michael F. Price Chair in Entrepreneurship and the Center for Entrepreneurship Academic Director at the University of Oklahoma. And we will look forward to hearing from him even now. So Lowell, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Emeritus, actually. So not just a little bit about my context and what I'll be talking about is really the integration of my faith and teaching in the context of a large university and a secular environment in particular. So my story really started in my been active in faith and actually campus ministry in an earlier career in my life. And I got, okay, how's this going to live itself out as a professor? And uh, as in graduate school, I heard of some Christian faculty around campus who would take a short block of time at the beginning of the semester or the end of the semester or something to share about their faith. And so I thought, well, that's interesting. And I'd like to make my faith more known. And so when I became a junior faculty member, I started to do the same. And usually do it on the first day of class, introduce the course, work through the syllabi, here are the expectations, etc., and then take the last 10, 15 minutes of the course to talk a little bit about my own background, um, where I grew up, my work context and experience, and then talk about my faith in particular, and that was a major cornerstone of my life, and would say that I'm not telling that telling you about my faith to try to use the class as a soapbox, but by I'm doing so to be intellectually honest with you about where I'm coming from and why I do some of the things that I do. And there was many favorable responses to that, but somehow or another, I started to feel after doing that for a number of years that it wasn't as impactful as it used to be. And I also started hearing more about the increasing importance of authenticity in the current student generations, and that was becoming a really central hallmark. And so I stopped doing it and started kind of focusing in other ways, and kind of by the way, along the way, I should say, I discovered that students already knew that I was a follower of Jesus, and that was where that was a critical building block for me, or foundation stone. Um, so really, in going down and I think this really coalesced also with my own development as a person, in that I wanted to integrate my faith and my teaching more extensively. And that really happened in several ways. One was the opportunity, as I was developing the entrepreneurship program, I got to really develop and design multiple classes and the overall curriculum, and for majors and minors, and then MBA concentration and so forth. And discovered, as we do with our teaching, about how important it was for me to teach in a way that was true to who I am, that we all have our own individual giftedness and skills and capabilities. We try things, we hear something at a conference like this, and some things really go well when we go back and say, hey, yeah, I got to implement that. And other things we get, man, that sounds like a great idea. And we implement it and it goes very flat. At least I have had that experience multiple times. And it just isn't consistent with where I am and my own skills and giftedness in being a teacher. The other thing that was one of the other things I discovered along this time was the joy of giving myself to the needs of my students. That I wasn't coming in as the authority figure, the know-it-all, um, and also wanting to get kind of away from the, you know, being the information dispenser and then give exams and so forth, and really design the curriculum around an experiential perspective, and wanted to develop the course in that way. And so I really started, and I enjoy students, and really became more explicit in my focus in doing that and finding ways to get involved in their lives, to connect with them. You know, and that started with um, learning their names before the first day of class, and getting pictures of them, and finding ways to connect with them after class was over, or to arrange group meetings where I could get to a point of personally interacting with them. And there's always this situations where students crisis emerges, um, and opportunity to follow up with them on that and how they're doing, and just uh, always kind of like, wow, students really, really appreciate it when we take time to connect with them and care about them and follow up with them on various things. It also in designing my classes and getting away from kind of the information giver, I and the experiential sort of thing, that I've really moved towards developing my classes around projects, and I would and a lot of presentations, or they would have to uh, uh, give presentations. I would call in former students, alumni, experienced practicing entrepreneurs of the community to come in and sit as judges, because it's kind of the business plan competition sort of template, and except breaking it down into multiple increments throughout the semester, and so that they could get lots of feedback. One of the things that happened in the midst of that, as they worked on as they would present, weaknesses would come to the forefront, and we would work on presentation skills. Uh, we would, but we would also work on the concept and wrestle with it, and so it was really turned the classroom into a time of being more of a coach, if you please, than their instructor. And I just felt like that was a better learning outcome. It was more of a connecting, a lot more authenticity, and uh, and and really worked really quite well. Um, so kind of in the and then in the context of that, uh, really becoming increasingly um, convinced that part of teaching in a way that honors God was connecting with in a way that was utilizing my strengths, but also in a way that connected with the students and their various learning styles that they had, and the joy of being able to connect with students in doing that and seeing them gain take on new capabilities and learn more of who they are and help shape their lives for the flourishing that potential flourishing that was ahead of them. So, so finding special things to do to support them, to maintain relationships, as difficult as it is as instructors, to find things that to honor them at the end of semesters. We'd throw pizza parties or whatever kind of parties at the end of the semester. Help them in those sort of ways. Stay in touch with them after they graduated, and they're around. Look for opportunities to take somebody to lunch, that sort of thing. So, to kind of wrap up um, wrap up kind of in summary and one new thing my growth in the integration of my faith and my teaching. One was teaching within the boundaries of my own skills and giftedness, that my class uh, had the right to look different. Content, yeah, had to get committed to getting certain content through, but recognizing my own skills and giftedness there. And to the joy of giving. What an opportunity teaching is, to give to our students, to put them first. To the real reward is not high evaluation numbers at the semester or teaching awards, but it's the investment that we get to make in other people's lives and helping them to grow and understand who they are. The final kind of summation thing, and new, I haven't mentioned at this point, some of you may have heard it before, a really pivotal point in my academic career was becoming exposed to Augustine's statement, all truth is God's truth. That was just, and I heard that. I thought, wait a minute, what does that mean? You mean this research that I'm, neck deep on, running statistical analysis, trying to figure out the relationship that venture capitalists have with the entrepreneurs that they fund and so forth, that as I sift through the paper and get it, recouch the theoretical arguments to make it fit the empirical data better and so on and so forth, that was touching on God's truth. Yeah. And the same thing in the classroom, and being able to bring that perspective in my own self about what I was, the care of the information, the principles that I was bringing into the classroom, that they represented God's truth, certainly through a mirror dimly, and sometimes more than others, and pretty cloud, lots of clouds sometimes, but still that we're representing that was just a paradigm changer for me in terms of way I handled the classroom and interacting with others. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the call to authenticity and modeling it yourself, and bringing your whole self and exactly your whole self to the classroom and valuing the students enough to get the pictures and learn the names before the first day of class. That just a beautiful call to excellent teaching. Thank you so much.